Hello and welcome to your everyday tonic, Healthy Marriage, the audio version. Healthy Marriage Talk Show is a production of B4 TV and is being anchored and produced by Cruz Annie, your mentor. In today's discussion, we will look at a very sensitive but interesting topic. Can marriage be healthy? Yes, you heard me right. Can marriage be healthy? Many a times and in most cases, this is always the question, and many people such as you listening to me now is confronted with. And really, do you have an answer to such question? In today's episode, this topic, can marriage be healthy, would form our major platform for teaching. But before then, sit back and relax. We will be right back. Welcome back. This is Healthy Marriage, the audio version with your mentor, Cruz Annie. Our topic for today's teaching is, can marriage be healthy? Yes, can marriage be healthy? The truth is and would remain, marriage can be healthy if the partners play their roles without compromise. Okay, let's start it this way. In a layman's understanding, healthy is being fit and sound, and marriage in its simplest meaning is the union between a man and a woman, whereby they are called husband and wife. Okay, if this is well understood, the question is, can this marriage made up of a husband and a wife be healthy? What can the partners do to make their marriage healthy? Marriage is a living thing being nurtured by a human being. Are you surprised? You don't have to be surprised. Okay, let's pick the two ideologies for analysis. If marriage is a living thing, what does that entail? What it entails is that marriage has life in it, and this life needs some sort of care and maintenance for it to live. Is it hard to understand? It shouldn't. Do you know why it shouldn't be hard to understand? Because we are here to reason together. Anything that has life, for example, economic tree, needs to be fertilized, watered, trimmed, so on and so forth for it to live. Else, it will wither and die off like trees planted on rocky land. Human beings have life in them, and they can only survive when that life is maintained and cared for. For example, any human being that wants to live healthy must feed well, take good Medicare, exercise, bathe well, so on and so forth. Else, that life may be cut short. Now, the question is, how do we nurture the life in our marriages to live so long as we live? Very interesting question. Okay, don't forget, the question now is, how do we nurture the life in our marriages to live so long as we live? Very interesting question. Sit back, relax, we will be right back. Welcome back once again. This is Healthy Marriage, the audio version with your mentor, Cruz Annie. Now, how do you nurture your marriage to live for as long as you both live? In a nutshell, when you begin to understand that the marriage you are into as a relationship has life in it, that is the only thing that will make you begin to think or begin to reason or begin to wonder or begin to ask yourself, what do I do in order to give life to this marriage? What do I do in order to make sure that this marriage lives on and on and on and on? If you don't ask yourself that question, you might be getting it wrong. The way you are a human being, you have life in you, and that is the only thing that makes you a living being. The way marriage is a living thing, it has life in it, and that is what makes it a living thing. And for it to live as a living thing, there must be certain things we ought to do, you ought to do, they ought to do in order to give life to this thing called marriage. Now, how do you nurture your marriage to live for as long as you and your spouse live? If your marriage must live as if there is life in your marriage, for you to give life to your marriage, the man, the woman, they both need to be humble and respectful to each other. The woman should not forget that her husband is her God. It is not her God as her creator, no. But he is her God as the closest person and as the person who can speak in her life and who can speak over her life and who can stand for her at every point in time. Don't forget that God is not just our Father because he is God. It is because he stands in our gap. And as a living being, a married woman, it is your husband who stands in your gap. And your husband standing in your gap, he stands as your God. So when the woman recognizes this and sees the man as her God, as her Lord, you see the marriage having shape. And the man, it is only when the man sees the wife as his angel. Let's not forget, when a man is making a mistake, somehow, it is the woman who puts a stop, who puts correction to certain things in order to make sure that the husband is on the right path. She is the angel that the man is seeing. So if she is the angel that the man is seeing, the man should value her as his angel, and that's the number one that will give shape to the marriage. Be humble and respectful to each other. That is number one. Number two, admire yourselves like no other. You see, as a husband, when a man goes outside and admire women outside, when he comes inside the house, definitely he will start seeing faults. He will start seeing lapses. He will start seeing the bad side of the wife. Why? Because he has admired other women outside his home. But when this man transfers this admiration to the wife, the woman would always look brand new, would always look new, would always look decent before that man. And likewise the woman, if this woman every morning wakes up to see the husband as a brand new man which she saw in the dream and now she sees him physically, if the admiration which this woman would have been having outside is transferred to the husband, you will see that the marriage is ever new every day. That's number two. Number three, the husband and the wife must share their good times and their ugly times together. You see, you cannot and can never build a healthy marriage when you don't share your times together. The times you share together has a lot to offer in your marriage. The time you share together has a way to shape and reshape your marriage. Let's, for example, the woman is an employee in a company. She goes out for the day and comes back with a very sad experience. Listen, there is no better person to share that sad experience with if not your husband. When you share this sad experience with him, he would tell you if he has an idea. Even if he doesn't have an idea, he would tell you his own side. And the passion of being your love, the passion of being your husband, when he's sharing his side of the experience with you, you're going to value it. In fact, you're going to see solution from what he's saying, and that's going to calm your temperature. That's going to bring you to shape. That's going to make you think less and bother not. And that is the same way it is on the man. You see, most of the time, the men are more focused in what they will achieve. Sometimes they don't really think of the disadvantages of what they want to achieve immediately. Maybe after the investment or after one or two things must have gone wrong, the man will start saying, oh, I would have done it this way, I would have done it the other way. As the man, always feel free to share your good time and your bad time with your spouse. When you go to the company, when you go to the office, let's, for example, you are an employer and you have staff, the whole of the day was messed up, your consignment, nothing happened to it, none was recovered, none was this and that. What you do as soon as you come back home, after your shower, dinner and everything, have a very good time with your wife. Share that thought, share that experience, share that emotion with her. Don't be surprised. The little contribution she will give you might turn everything around, and you might have a positive picture of what you experienced for the day. And you might start seeing solutions coming around you just by sharing that experience with your spouse. That is number 3. Number 4, share your future dreams together. Believe you me, every man has a future. Every woman has a future. You cannot know what your futures are like if you don't share together. You may not know the best way to go about your futures if you don't share it together. You might have in mind that in the next 3 years you want to buy a car. Your wife may as well have in mind that from her little business in the next 3 years she would buy a car for the family. But when you come together and share this dream together, you will find out that your dream is likewise your wife's dream. What are you left with at that point? You will tell your wife, okay, from your little source of income, we are going to do it this way. Save this money for the car. I'm going to save my own money for our building projects. You see, the dream is balanced. And at the end of the day, you see you saving money for your housing project, and you see your wife saving money for your family car. Dream is being achieved by the two when it is well planned. That is number 4. Number 5. Number 5. And I repeat, number 5. Believe in each other. No matter how you say it, no matter what you think, no matter how you feel, there are bound to be some mistakes in life. There are bound to be some errors in life. Believing in each other always makes your marriage solid. If you believe in your husband always, and the husband believes in the wife always, when there is mistake in the marriage, there is a better understanding, because the man would know that the downfall of his wife is not the end of that woman. And if it is the woman, or the man rather, the woman would know that the downfall of the husband is not the end of that man. Believe in the strength of your husband. Believe in the strength of your wife. Let me tell you, no matter how superhero a man is, one day he must make a mistake. No matter how powerful a man is, one day he must make a mistake. But now, if he has a very good marital relationship with the wife, even in that mistake, the wife will not see the mistake. Rather, the wife will see the rising of the husband. No matter how heroic a woman may be, one day she might make a mistake. Let's give a very simple example of mistake in marriages. A man believes so much in his wife and believes that the wife is a good cook, but never thought of the wife making mistake in the presence of his friends. Now let me shock you. It could be a regular story like you know, or it might sound very new to you. But a man, a very wealthy man who believes so much in the strength and the cooking ability of the wife, who has for years tested the delicacies of the wife and has confirmed the wife to be a very nice cook, one day gave the wife huge amount of money to prepare food for his friends that will be coming for a visit. May I shock you? The woman took the money, bought everything like usual, came back home, prepared the food. The woman made mistake. What was the mistake she made? Along the line, whatever that happened, she added so much salt in that food. Now, when she added so much salt in that food, after everything, the husband's friend visited. When they visited, the man asked the woman, "Oh, honey, sweetheart, please could you serve us meal?" And the woman brought this food. When she brought the food, unfortunately, or fortunately rather, the man was the first person who tasted the food. And when he tasted the food, my brother, you won't believe the amount of salt in the food. The food was salty that it was something else. But what did this man do? Because he believed so much in the cooking strength of the wife, because he knows that this is just a mistake. You know what he did? He said, "Oh, sweetheart, there's no salt in this food. Please, could you get me some salt from the kitchen?" And the woman got salt and gave to the husband in the presence of his friends. And the man added more salt in the food upon the one that was already in the food. And when the friends now, settled to eat, and the food was salty, and they said, "Oh, you added so much salt." And the man said, "Oh, please, I'm sorry. I didn't know, is that salty to you? Sorry. Okay, don't worry. Let's look for something else and eat." The man instantly called the wife and ordered they prepare a different thing for them. By then, he already covered up the mess of the wife. Do you know why he did that? He believed so much in the strength of the wife, and he knew it was just a mistake, because for many years he lived with the wife. He never experienced such. So how could the day of his friend's visit, how could such mistake happen? Now, because he believed so much on what the wife could do, look at the way he covered it up, and not even any of the friends knew what exactly happened. They thought it was the man who did it, or it was the wife. How do you see that? That is believing in your partner. And that made the woman, from that very day henceforth, the amount of respect she had for the husband increased, doubled. And the man, on his own, told her, "I know it was a mistake. I know no way you could do that to put shame on me. It's okay. Life goes on." That is exactly what I mean by believing in each other. When you believe in each other, your marriage will be like marriage in heaven. And I tell you what, don't you ever think there is any marriage made in heaven? No way. All the marriages are made here on earth and will end here on earth. The way you make your marriage is exactly the way it will be for you. Believe in each other and you see things happening. Your neighbor might be envying your marriage. He might not know the secret. The secret is best known to you and your spouse. Have I made your day? I think so. I think I've made your day. Do join us in our subsequent productions, or you can order for complete hard copy of this message, Healthy Marriage Book. You can do that from any of the leading bookshops around you. Many of us today go into marriage without first of all understanding what marriage is all about. But you do yourself and your marriage a favor if you can get the hard copy of this message, Healthy Marriage Book. You can go to Graceline Bookshop at Kingdom Way Living Church International Headquarters, Enugu, 15 Pocket Layout by School Bus Stop, Trans Ekulu, Enugu. It is very easy to get married, but not so easy to stay married. For marriage counseling, for seminars, whatever you need us for, in line with relationship talk, please do feel free to visit us or email us at b4mediatv@gmail.com. B for boy, 4 for 1 2 3 4, mediatv@gmail.com. Or you can call the following numbers: 070 60 74 8433, 080 54 12 5225, 081 68 04 0503. Thank you for being part of the program today. I remain your mentor, Cruz Annie. Don't forget, it is very easy to get married, but not so easy to stay married. See you next time. God bless you.